Good morning and welcome. My name is Dr. Bill Law, and I'm the president at St. Petersburg College. This morning we welcome, first of all of our students who are here today to be party to a very important event in our service to our communities. Secondly, we welcome a number of dignitaries to our campus. Those include Sarah Lith, the CEO of the Intercultural Advocacy Institute, Maria Nieves Edmonds, chairperson of the Hispanic Leadership Council, and two of our local and very prominent state elected officials, Senator Jack Latvala and State Representative Ed Hooper. They will be making an important announcement regarding service to students and opportunities for students to continue their education not just at St. Petersburg College, but throughout the state. So with that, I would like to bring Sandra Lith, the CEO of our Intercultural Advocacy Institute, to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Law. It's an honor to be here at the college. Dr. Law was very modest when he didn't remind us all of how many Hispanic students go to St. Petersburg College. This really is the leading institution in our county for the Hispanic community to get a higher education, and that's really why we thought this would be an excellent place. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Law, and all of your faculty, but you most particularly for your energy that you bring to this issue. Thank you so much. I am here to introduce the two leading speakers for today. We are talking today about in-state tuition for undocumented students, and we have two leading leaders from Pinellas County here. I think we're in between class time right now. We're happy to see you. We're fortunate today to have a representative from our Florida House of Representatives and a Florida state senator. And this is a remarkable moment for all of us who support this initiative. Representative Ed Hooper has been a Clearwater resident and public official for a long time. He retired as a lieutenant in the fire department in Clearwater and retired Deputy Chief Dewey Williams sends his personal regards, Representative Hooper. He said these things can take a long time, but we really need to keep at the issues that matter the most. Representative Hooper, when he left public service in the fire department, did a variety of things and then was elected to the Florida House in 2006. And he has emerged as a very important person in the Florida House in the intervening years. He's on many committees. He was the deputy majority whip in the House, and he is someone who is a very influential person in the House, and he's here in support of this initiative. The second person is Senator Jack Latvala, who has been in the Florida Senate on more than one occasion. He was first elected in 1994 to 2002 in the Florida Senate, and during that time developed a reputation for being an independent thinker and somebody who champions causes that he truly believes in. When he ran for the Senate again in 2012, the Tampa Bay Times endorsed him, saying that he's the most powerful independent voice among the Republicans elected in the Senate. We are really, really fortunate to have Senator Latvala championing this issue also. So what I would like to do is let Senator Latvala and Representative Hooper talk about their initiative to bring in-state tuition for undocumented students in the state of Florida. And the first person to speak is my senator and your senator, Senator Jack Latvala. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say that there is nothing that's in the bill that I'm filing today that hasn't been in another bill sponsored by another member of the legislature at some time or another. What I've attempted to do is put the concepts together in a package that hopefully will make it attractive to get enough support all the way through the process and get a signature by the governor at the end. So it's a package that deals with the whole concept of tuition. Last year, Senator Flores had a bill that only dealt with the in-state tuition for the children of undocumented. Other people have sponsored that bill. I've sponsored a bill along with Representative Peters to do tuition, in-state tuition for veterans. That's moving through the process now. Senator Galvano has a bill that deals with some of these other tuition issues, but this is a bill that combines them all, with the central focus of the bill being ways to reduce the expense of higher education for Florida students. So let me outline what we're doing here today. First of all, this bill would allow veterans and reservists who have been honorably discharged and who live in Florida to receive the in-state tuition rate at any state university or Florida college. Second, would remove discrepancies in the way our state system of higher education treats those who live in Florida but cannot receive in-state tuition because of their parents' immigration status. It would provide tuition equity for those students who may not have been born in the country, but who live here and attended a Florida high school for 3 consecutive years and enroll in an institution of higher learning within 24 months of graduation from high school. It will resolve the issues that face non-residents who marry a Florida resident and subsequently apply for the in-state tuition at an institution of higher learning. It will also eliminate the requirement that tuition rates automatically increase at a rate that is equal to the rate of inflation for districts' workforce education programs, Florida colleges, and state universities. It would prohibit a university board of trustees from creating or increasing a tuition differential for undergraduate courses, and finally, give parents who invest in their children's college education through the Florida prepaid college program a significant reduction in their monthly payments. Currently, out-of-state fees can amount to as much as $17,000 more per year than those charged to Florida residents. The changes proposed in this bill will go a long way to providing across-the-board reductions in the cost of higher education so that everyone in our state has greater access to an education of their choice. I think that this is an important issue for my district. I have, as many of you know, here in Clearwater, Representative Hooper and I would acknowledge that I'm going to be the sponsor of the bill in the Senate on this. Representative Jimenez is a sponsor in the House. But when I asked Representative Hooper if he would come and stand up with me on this issue today because of the importance of this issue to our Clearwater community, he readily agreed to do that. I think this is an important issue in our community. We have a large Hispanic population in Clearwater. I get to Clearwater, the mall in Clearwater Countryside, once a year, right before Christmas. And this year I was frankly very taken aback by the large number of Hispanics that were shopping there and living in our community. And I just decided that in good conscience, there is no reason in the world why parents' immigration status ought to be the determining factor of the tuition that our young people pay. You know, the concept of in-state tuition is set up so that those that are taxpayers in Florida can get a reduced tuition rate as opposed to the children of people who are not taxpayers in Florida. So they come into our state, they pay a premium, just like Florida students pay when we go into another state. In this particular case, these children are the children of taxpayers in Florida who pay our sales tax, who pay our gas taxes, in many cases pay other taxes. And so I just think that this is a disparity and a discriminatory issue that needs to go away. And let me tell you about what I think is the prospects for this bill this year. And I'm going to hedge a little bit on some of this because I don't like to speak for other people. But obviously, the Speaker of the House, Representative Weatherford, has been very, very outspoken in his commitment to passing this legislation. When the Speaker of the House is committed to something, the House of Representatives listens and normally passes the legislation. So I believe this legislation will pass on the floor of the House. I have talked to Governor Scott and to his staff, and I believe that if we can present him a bill that is an entire package of reductions in tuition costs, this is an issue he's been very involved in, and I believe we have a very good prospect of him approving the bill. So that leaves the Florida Senate. And our leaders in the Florida Senate have not really taken a public position on this, but all I've asked them is for the opportunity for me to get this to the floor of the Senate, and I will assure you, and I have assured them, that if this bill gets to the floor of the Senate, I will get the 21 votes necessary to pass it. I think I've already, in personal conversations, probably talked to 23, 24, 25 senators who've agreed that they would support it. So our mission is going to be to try to get a floor vote on this, and if we can get a floor vote, I believe we can be successful. So I want to share the stories with some of the young people who are affected by this legislation and this situation. But before we do that, I'd like to call on my colleague and our longtime representative from here in Clearwater, Representative Ed Hooper.
Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Law, Provost Bidito, and all the St. Pete College staff and students, thank you for hosting us this morning. Senator Latvala laid out very clearly how important this is not only to the Clearwater community and the Pinellas County community, but the state of Florida. And all of us have heard for now years the national debate about immigration reform and how, as of today, nothing has changed. And neither the Senate or I control the national agenda. We wish we could sometimes, but they don't allow us. But the government requires us to educate all children, whether they are legal or illegally in this state. And yet, after a lot of these young adults go through high school, we choose to treat them like they're no longer Floridians, and that's wrong. This proposed legislation will, after a long overdue time, change exactly that mindset. You will be treated as a Florida resident, eligible for every other piece of tuition assistance and rate that any other Florida resident deserves to get, and that is the right thing to do. It does a couple of things. It really codifies the court decision in Ruiz versus Robinson by clarifying that the immigration status of a dependent child's parent cannot be used for a sole basis for denial for in-state residential tuition. The House has taken a slightly different approach. We have separated our GI language and our in-state tuition language. Our GI language is ready for a floor vote next week and pass it out of the House. But I will tell you this, Senator Latvala was correct, that my speaker, Representative Weatherford, is unwavering on this initiative, and he has given this task to the chairman of one of our House Education Policy Committees, Representative Jeanette Nunez from Miami, a bright rising star in the Florida legislature. She will shepherd this through the House in an appropriate manner. I will be there to help her any way that I can. and I believe that Senator Latvala is correct. We will get a bill to the governor of the state of Florida that will now eliminate this inequity once and for all and treat people who live in Florida as they should be, as residents of Florida, and hopefully all come to St. Pete College and your enrollment blossoms, because it's a pretty good place. Thank you all for being here. I'll close by saying, Senator, I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your press conference. It is a big deal, and I am honored that you would include me. And I hear I'm supposed to turn it back over to Sandra for other comments. Thank you again.
Everyone here knows that this issue is very personal for many of us here. And I would like to introduce Maria Edmonds, who is the chairperson of the Hispanic Leadership Council and also is the chairperson of the Juvenile Welfare Board for Pinellas County, to make a heartfelt statement on this matter. Maria?
Thank you. Sandra was right when she said that I was making a heartfelt statement, because it is personal. All my life, I have dealt with students. All my life, I have dealt with children. It has been a quest. It has been my lifelong ambition to help them. And all along, I will counsel with them, just like you are. I will teach them. I will have them dream, like it says in here, achieving the dream. And I will tell them that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you will achieve your dream if you work hard and you do the right things. This is the American way. This is the right way. And then some of these children could not do that. Barriers were put in front of them. And that's not right. That's not our American dream. That's not why we're here. So I am so happy for these two people, courageous, fair, that are bringing this up. And yesterday, I told my mother, my 89-year-old mother, what was happening. And she wanted to be here, but she couldn't. Her health does not permit that. But she said, I want you to tell them. I want you to tell them from me. So I'm going to tell you from her. She said, gracias por ayudar a mis niños y por abrirles las puertas a una nueva vida por medio de la educación. Que Dios los bendiga. Thank you for helping my children and for opening the door to a new life by supporting their education. May God bless you. Thank you.
Well, as Senator Latvala mentioned, and Representative Hooper as well, we have a large and thriving Hispanic community in Clearwater, and this legislation will substantially enhance our efforts to serve that community. We're very, very pleased about that. But in the end, it's not about policy, it's really about how that policy affects people. And so here this morning to give you a personal perspective on that, Celeste Pio Quinto.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. My name is Celeste Pio Quinto. I am an early college student here at SPC. I was born and raised in Clearwater all my life. I attended Skycrest Elementary, which is a local Clearwater elementary school, Seminole Middle, which I had to go to because of their gifted program, and Clearwater High School, which I am still enrolled in and will be graduating this year from. Let's see. I would always earn honor roll in all of my education life. I would always participate in extracurricular activities. I would always do volunteer work. I would help other students. I would always be at the top of my class. Ever since elementary school, I dreamed about going to college or attending a university. Now, instead of dreaming it, I'm preparing for it. I have applied for universities. I have applied for scholarships, but there is a barrier, and that is out-of-state tuition costs. I am not eligible for in-state tuition costs despite being documented. My parents are both undocumented, and that affects my tuition status. I know that they will not be able to assist me to pay for college because I'm the eldest out of 4 children. So financially, we're not in the best standing. I know that this bill not only affects me, but it affects many other of my close relatives and close family friends that dream to attend universities and colleges. But due to out-of-state tuition costs being applied to us, the dream is fading away. Just because of out-of-state tuition costs, the dream is, like I said, in danger. We need in-state tuition costs because in-state tuition costs is hard enough as it is applying all our scholarships, applying all our extra work towards it, but yet out-of-state tuition costs would cost 3 or 4 times more than that. And, they're working hard to try to pass this bill. They're trying to help us achieve our dream. And we're the future of Florida. We're the future of our nation. And without the high costs already, we won't be able to achieve that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Celeste. And as someone asked me rhetorically this morning, what do you say to a middle school student when there's no opportunity to go to college? How do you motivate them to continue to work hard when that door is closed to them when they graduate from high school? Our next speaker, Dulce Jimenez Rosquero.
Good morning. My name is Dulce Jimenez. Today, I'm so happy to be a part of this today and share the difficulty many students, including myself, have gone through in trying to obtain a college education. It seems to me that putting forth our best effort in school and learn a new language since the start is not enough for students coming from a different background. In order for students under the deferred action to be able to complete their education, they must pay 3 or 4 times the cost an average student paying in-state tuition pays. It's definitely a lot of money, especially when it comes out of your pocket. Nevertheless, I optimistically believe that this will change soon. First and foremost, I want to communicate to you the difficulties students from other countries face when coming to the U.S. Coming from a different culture and learn a new language is a struggle in itself. I came to the U.S. when I was 8 years old. I've been here for 12 years, which is pretty much like more than half my life. I knew absolutely no English at the time, and I felt very impotent because I couldn't communicate my thoughts. I didn't really know what was happening around me. Nevertheless, I knew since the beginning that the language barrier was not going to stop me from succeeding in school. I know many people who have gone through the same problem, and I know those who are still struggling with that today. In addition to the language barrier that many students face when arriving to the U.S., they later want to continue their education, but that's when money gets in the way. Coming out of high school and learning that the cost of tuition is three times or perhaps even more than the cost of tuition a person paying in-state tuition is paying is another toil that I, along with other students, had to face. Under the deferred action, students can attend college but cannot obtain help from the government, leaving the cost of education completely to the individual. To tell you a little about myself, I'm currently pursuing a career in nursing, although it's not my first choice. I initially wanted to be an emergency physician. I was willing to put the time and effort to become a doctor, but because of the cost of out-of-state tuition, which I am paying for right now, it would have been a ridiculous amount of money that my parents and I had to pay. Letting go of your #1 dream because something you can't control is extremely hard, but sometimes being aware of your most reachable goal is most important. Now, I am striving to reach my goal so that I can become a nurse. I will still be doing what I most desire, which is helping people and providing some sort of help. I did not give up on my dream because I was never taught to do so. Instead, I took a step back and opted to take my second option, which was realistically more attainable. I cannot say my life is bad because I know many other students have it worse. Thankfully, I have both of my parents supporting me and doing the best they can to pay for my tuition so that I could attend college. It has definitely not been easy, but if I've come this far, there's nothing to bring me down. I have worked hard all my life. I graduated from Countryside High School in 2012 with a 3.7 GPA, and I have maintained it until this point. So I don't see why students with an excellent academic success have to be punished to pay more for wanting to learn if they have resided in Florida for so many years. Furthermore, I strongly believe that pushing Congress to pass a law stating that students under the deferred action could be able to pay for in-state tuition. And I believe that's necessary because some people cannot afford to attend college because of that. If those students paying in-state tuition complain because of the amount of, the college costs, can you imagine what paying for out-of-state tuition is like? It's truly a major difference. Making a move, an attempt to change this policy is what has brought me here in front of you. If this policy is changed, it would allow many more students to achieve their ultimate dream if they put their best effort. It would allow students to focus on their classes and be less stressed when it comes to pay for the new semester. Also, as more students are able to afford paying for an education, the more doctors, nurses, professors we will have, which will increase business. In conclusion, students who have lived in Florida for so many years and have come from different backgrounds should not be punished for paying more for an education. Those students, including myself, have faced many obstacles along the way already. Craving knowledge and wanting a better future is not a sin. Therefore, I am hopeful for a change in which students under the deferred action are able to pay for in-state tuition as well. Thank you.
It's very powerful and moving, Dulce. Our next speaker, Maria Hernandez, is someone that I know from her work on this campus, and I can tell you that Maria, as a student here, has added to this campus immeasurably. Her leadership is known and appreciated. Maria?
Hello, good morning. Buenos días a todos. My name is Maria Hernandez. I'm a current student at St. Petersburg College. I am also in the early college program, and this is my last semester here. I will be graduating from Dunedin High School. I moved here from Mexico when I was 5 years old. The language barrier has also been part of an obstacle I had to face coming to Florida. Both of my parents were born in Mexico, and I was born in Ixmiquilpan, Hidalgo. When I was living in Mexico, I remember when I was 5 years old, I would walk approximately for more than 40 minutes just to reach my elementary school. And luckily, on June 28, 2001, I won a golden ticket. Both of my parents had the opportunity to be U.S. citizens. Therefore, I knew I had won a golden ticket. I say this because I was granted the opportunity to become a citizen and to be one in a few that receive this opportunity. This golden ticket has given me the best opportunities I could have ever asked for. I have been granted the opportunity to continue on with my education, expand my knowledge, and to pursue my dreams and goals. On the other hand, there are others who unfortunately are not granted with this golden ticket. It is not their parents' fault either that they weren't able to receive this same opportunity. With that said, I will be the voice of many students who were not able to receive this golden ticket and who remain in silence. Everyone, everywhere, dreams of becoming someone in life. Just as I have a dream to become an anesthesiologist one day, they also have dreams of their own. But unfortunately, some of them don't have that same opportunity as I to continue on with the education needed to reach that certain goal. For us, I am speaking for every one of these students, education is our tool that will lead us to further success. We are just eager students that want to continue on with our studies. We are hungry students for more knowledge that is being blocked with a barrier. This barrier is interfering with our education, the success, dreams, and goals. Yes, our parents have worked hard, tremendously, so that we could have a better education that they never could obtain. Our focus, determination, and dedication and our potential is what keeps us moving every day. And it enables us to encourage others that don't have that same opportunity. We have passed through struggles, passed through extreme situations, and even humiliation. And yet, we have never given up. We have to show that we have to take risks in life as well. If we want to gain something, we have to work hard for it, because in today's world, nothing comes easy to life. For my personal perspective, I have been a student here at the Clearwater campus, and I am just helping others, assisting in whatever I can. With this in-state tuition bill, letting undocumented students to have the same opportunity, and I emphasize the opportunity for them to continue on with their education, their dreams, their goals, just as I am given the opportunity to pursue and the career I would want. I want everyone to also put themselves in these students' shoes and ask themselves, what if I was neglected and not be able to continue on with what I wanted to be? I want everyone to think of what this would mean for them, not just because I do have friends, and I know that this would really impact them. Sorry. This would really make them be more successful, and not only would it pay off their parents' effort and their dedication for coming to a new country, but also we, as someone mentioned, we are the future of tomorrow. If we want something, we will work hard for it in order to gain it. And as the logo for St. Petersburg College is, we finish what we start. So coming to this country, starting the education, we also would like to finish our education that we once started here in America. Quiero decir gracias a Dr. Law for giving every student here at Clearwater campus and overall St. Petersburg College the opportunity to continue on with this education that they need, and also Senator here, both senators, for being courageous enough, because this is a very controversial topic, and for being the voice of these students that some of them aren't able to give their own voices out. I have one last thing to say. One thing that my parents taught me is even if you're not in the current situation or if it will not impact you, always think of the people around you. Always think of others. Don't always think about yourself. If you're lucky enough to have the opportunity, be grateful, but also try to see what you can do to help others that are in that situation. Never forget those who are in the need of help, because one day, maybe one day, you might be in a situation where you'll need someone else's help. So I would like to thank everyone for coming out here today.
Thank you, Maria. I want to thank Senator Latvala and Representative Hooper, the Hispanic Outreach Center, Maria Edmonds, Sandra Leith, Dr. Law, and our students, and all of you for being here today. We'd like to think that St. Petersburg College serves our entire community, and this will help us in that effort. I have a coffee mug on my desk that has, of course, this won't surprise you, the St. Petersburg College logo on it. But it also has a tagline, Su Futuro, and we'd like to think that this is indeed Su Futuro. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. Nicely done.